What's going on, y'all? Today we're at one of Ghosted Performances shops, and we're going to be showing you how to remove your stock downpipe and installing your brand new catted downpipe. We have about an hour drive to get there, but let's listen to some tunes because the scenery is beautiful. So this is our 200 cell high flow catted downpipe from R&J that we're going to be installing today. So the current exhaust setup is the factory downpipe, which is mounted to the Vibrant Performance Ultra Quiet Resonator, which goes back to the full 3-inch Roush catback. So getting started, we're going to go ahead and remove this middle brace that's hanging under the mid pipe before we move to removing these bolts so we can get this free. I'm not too sure what this is called, but we're basically removing these 4 bolts that's holding up the cat so that we can break it free before moving on to our secondary O2 sensor. So right here, we're actually trying to break loose the secondary O2 sensor before lowering the car and disconnecting the O2 sensors from above. This might be a little bit hard to see, but first you're going to want to remove the intake tube with a 7 and an 8 millimeter so that you can reach behind to find the O2 sensors. Once you find that, there's going to be a tab that you're going to have to push in, and then you're going to have to pull apart to disconnect the sensor. This is going to be a lot easier if you've already done the Simposer delete, as that tube is going to be out of the way. If you haven't, just pull the tube out and then you can replace it once you're done. Once we get that primary O2 sensor out, we're going to go back under the car to begin removing the band clamp that's holding the turbo and the downpipe together. We decided to fully remove the mid pipe so that the downpipe slides out easier. So you'll need to remove these bolts connecting the downpipe to the mid pipe and possibly the smaller brace in the rear, depending on how your exhaust is set up. Once you remove your mid pipe, you're going to have a much easier time just pulling that downpipe straight out. When it's time to pull out the downpipe, all you need to do is be mindful of those 2 prongs that are going to be sticking out towards the bottom, just so you're not going to tear up any of your heat shield, and then you just pull it out slowly, but surely it'll come right out. So once the downpipe is off, you'll need to remove this piece along with the secondary O2 sensor to put onto your new downpipe. So my downpipe didn't actually come with those prongs, so I'll have to weld them on at another time. We're then going to be connecting our defouler onto the secondary O2 sensor. Even though that this downpipe still has a catalytic converter, there's still a chance that I'll run a check engine light, and we don't want that. So that's what
what we'll do with this is once we get it in the right spot, once it's on there, we're going to tighten this down. Okay. And that'll hold that in place.
Man, this shop looks so nice. Huge shout out again to Jay and Josh over at Ghosted Performance for making this all happen. If you're interested in getting your own Ghosted Performance merch, I'll have it linked down below in the description. It's time for the fun part. You have to put the downpipe back in the same way you took it out while being mindful of the O2 sensors and the defouler. Once it's aligned, we're going to go ahead and reconnect the band clamp to make sure that it's sealed with no exhaust leaks. Once you have it clamped down, adjust your secondary O2 sensor towards the top so that you can reconnect it once it's lowered. From there, all we're doing is reconnecting everything that you disconnected, putting the exhaust back together, and then lowering it and reconnecting the O2 sensors and putting the intake back. And from there, you should be good to start it.